Hello and welcome to my F1 25 driver career mode here today for part 27 for the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza, the penultimate round of the 2026 Formula 1 season. So we come into qualifying now, quite important qualifying here at Monza. Around the final corner now of the Parabolica, we come up to the line, cross it. That first lap though is only going to put us P21. It's an absolute shocker of a lap. We went again those same set of tyres and we found 7 tenths on this lap, but we are missing a toe which definitely going to hurt us a little bit, but that lap moves us up into P15. Now our last run we found 2 tenths coming out of the final corner. We're now up towards the line, we're going to come up to the line, cross it, and we're going to start the race, P12. So this is it then, the grid for the Italian Grand Prix. It's Sonny Hayes on pole with Charles Leclerc making sure 1 Ferrari's at the front in P2. Then it's Piers and Esteban Ocon, Lawson and Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Our teammate Villeneuve and Max Verstappen round out the top 10. We are alongside George Russell in P12. Then it's Albon and Jack Doohan, Bortoletto and Gasly. Lewis Hamilton's had a shocker at Monza. He's alongside Hulkenberg. Then it's Antonelli. And on the final row of the grid, both having a penalty, is Lance Stroll and Yuki Tsunoda. So as the cars make their way onto the grid now ahead of the Italian Grand Prix, you can see the podium in the background that everyone wants to be on. But the strategy today is looking very close between a 1 and a 2 stop race. Easy to overtake though round here. So what strategy will be best? It's time to find out though. The 5 red lights are on, they're out, and we're racing at Monza, and we've got a hell of a lot of wheel spin off the line, but we've still found some sort of traction, and we're in the tyre tracks of Verstappen there. We're going to go late on the brakes up the inside into turn 1. We've made contact there with the McLaren of Oscar Piastri surely. We've gone right round the outside of him though, and now we're on the back of the other McLaren of Lando Norris, who's fighting for the title, and we're going to go clean round the outside of him at the Curva Grande. And now late on the brakes up the inside of Carlos Sainz. We've gone a bit deep though. Sainz tried to get us back around the outside, but we've had a good start there. We've gained multiple positions and had a good start. This is now further back onto lap 4 now. This is George Russell, who had a spin here last year, bringing out a safety car. There's a lock-up in front of us, and he's lost it again, and he's into the barrier again. It's George Russell. This time, earlier on in the lap, it was at the Parabolica last year, but he finds himself off into the gravel 2 years running at Monza, as now in front of us. This is Ocon going for it on the Red Bull of Liam Lawson. We were struggling to get anywhere near this pack. We were pulling away from those behind, the 2 McLarens who have cleared Carlos Sainz now, and now we're looking for a way past our rival for this season, Liam Lawson. But we're not going to have to get past him because his engine has gone bang. Liam Lawson is out of the Italian Grand Prix and has gifted us that P5, and now we can get down the road, hopefully after Esteban Ocon's P4. But we're going to be left defending now the McLarens, as here comes Lando Norris to the inside. We're going to be double teamed here by both of them, and they've both got us there. We've been absolutely mugged by the McLarens. We've lost out to one of them. We're trying to hold it around the outside of Lando Norris. We've kept Lando behind. Piastri though has done both of us, as there is Lawson pulling off. He's got a long way around the lap before he's pulled off. Piastri now though is getting away, and now here comes Lando Norris, who needs this overtake and gets the overtake. We're not in a race for these. We are with Ocon, but we've lost a lot of time here. But Lando wasn't pulling away, so we're going to have him back at turn 1 and take that place back from him and go back up into P6. But Lando isn't having any of it. He needs to get down the road after his teammate. Going into the Hescari chicane, he backs out of it, does Lando there, but he may have set us up here beautifully for the Parabolica. He's getting closer and closer to us. We're a bit of a sitting duck here. We're going to force him to the outside, but he's going to get us, is he? Before we can get to the Parabolica, we are going to have to live to fight another day with that one. Maybe try and get him back late on the brakes into turn 1, but he was gone. Was Lando Norris, and he pulled away, and we were keeping the gap behind. Ocon's into the pits, and at the end of lap 8 we are into the pits, going on to lap 9. Bearing in mind how quickly these mediums went off, we're going to commit to the 2-stop today. We're going to go on to the mediums again. Maybe the better option was to go on to the hards and then potentially leave the strategy open for a 2 or a 1, but we're committing ourselves now to a 2-stop, as we've been beaten out there by Max Verstappen, who pitted earlier on in the race, a lot earlier than we did, and now he's fighting Esteban Ocon. He's on the medium. On the hards though is Max Verstappen, so he's trying something different. Is he trying the 1-stop as he gets past Ocon there? We could see these two fighting, but we just couldn't get close enough to have a go and get past both of them. It was kind of story of our race. We could see the battle, we just couldn't get involved in the battle, as Ocon retakes that place there from Max Verstappen in the Haas. But now Max is going to have a run at him. Is he going into the final corner? He's getting closer and closer now. We're a long way off the Parabolica. Maxo to the outside. Is he going to keep it pinned all the way around the outside of the Parabolica? Yes, he is. What a move by Max Verstappen, but Ocon isn't going to have any of it, and now he's going to have him back down the pit straight. Max Verstappen a sitting duck there, but it was a great move while it lasted from the Dutchman, as in the background Lando Norris going longer. He's 1-stopping, has come out behind us. The strategy is all over the place in this race. It's looking tight between a 1 and a 2-stopper. Lap 12 we were told to try and catch him past Max. I don't know what Mark thought we were trying to do, because I've been trying that this entire stint, but we just couldn't get the gap down. We couldn't break the DRS. It was so frustrating, as now Max retakes that 4th place from Esteban Ocon, and we are a bit close now to him, but we're been caught by the McLaren of Lando Norris, who's going to get us down the inside into the Hescari chicane. We're going to try and fend him off. He backs out of it because we're fighting here, Ocon and Max, and we're just losing so much time. These faster cars 1-stopping, kind of ruining our race. It happened, McLaren have done it again. McLaren did it earlier on in this race. We're going to try and hold off Lando though. He tried the Verstappen move around the outside, but we've held him off, and now Ocon's going to try and get Max Verstappen back here, and I think he has, as we're coming under pressure from Lando Norris. Lando has got us that time before we even get to the first corner. He's not our fight, is Lando. Our fight is with Ocon and Verstappen today, but if he can get down the road, maybe he can hold them up and fight them. But here comes Esteban Ocon on Max Verstappen again, and Lando Norris is going to do one of the most amazing moves and do the double, is he? Max has been done. Lando's up the inside of Ocon. He's now got to hold it around the outside. It's a brilliant double move by the McLaren, and now we've been caught by the other McLaren of Oscar Piastri, but we're going to let him through as we come into the pits to make our second stop of the day with just 10 laps to go. We're going to have to be quick on these hards, because I think the 1-stopper was the way to go today. We should have gone to the hards in that first stint, as we've been held up there a bit by the Williams, because then it left our options open rather than committing us to this 2-stopper. Ocon though, just at the road, he's pitting, but Max Verstappen 1-stopping potentially. He's on the hard, so he's doing what we should have done, leaving the strategy open. But now, finally, we've closed up-ish to Ocon. Can we catch him? This is Max Verstappen though, he's two-stopping. Very interesting there. Two sets of hards, and finally we're going to find a way past Max Verstappen there. Side by side we come out into turn 1 and 2, and we get past the Aston Martin there. He can go side by side through turn 1 without ending up on the top of his rival, but now he's coming back at us. Is Max Verstappen, and he gets us into the Parabolica. I thought finally this time we'd had a chance of getting down the road after Ocon, but we've just been left defending with what could have been today really. We were right on the back of Ocon, and now we're left defending Max Verstappen, who should be way up the road. It's interesting that he did decide to do the two-stop after being on the mediums, on the hards, in that second stint, as we're overtaking the Aston Martin, and now he's going to try and have us back here as Ocon is just pulling further and further away here. It's so frustrating because I feel like we've got the pace of that Haas today. We fend off though the Aston Martin for now. That Aston Martin quite clearly quicker than us today, but we're going for it on Max. He got us back to the inside. Have we got the job done on him? Yes we can. We've retaken that place. Max though not having any of it. He's going to look to try and have us back here. Down the pit straight we go. He's getting closer and closer to us. He's going to pull to the inside. There's not much we can do about this, but there's contact. We've made contact with the Aston Martin. Is there bad damage for Max Verstappen? He's kind of, well, nothing's really happened there, but I think he has got damage. He's dropped back into the Williams of Carlos Sainz, and Sainz is past the Aston Martin. He's got damage there surely. It wasn't even that bad of contact really, but he's clearly done something to his front wing and he is struggling now, and we just couldn't catch Esteban Ocon. But meanwhile up front, he's done it again as he comes into the final corner for the final time. He's done it time and time again, but once again Charles Leclerc is going to win the Italian Grand Prix for Ferrari. It's going to be an excellent P2 for the McLaren of Lando Norris. Really had to get his elbows out today. He's going to be followed home by his teammate Oscar Piastri. A good day for McLaren as we now come into the Parabolica for the 27th and final time. We've been caught by Carlos Sainz. We are going to hold him off for a pretty decent P8.
What a drive! What a driver! Charles Leclerc takes the victory!
To come here and take victory as a team today on home soil was so important. You can see how much it means to them. The drivers there doing their part, the team's strategy was perfect as well, and the fans really embraced that. What a great atmosphere we had here today.
So much to talk about. We will continue to do so, but first it is time for the podium. And there can only be one on the top step. Today, his name is Charles Leclerc.
So that's been your Italian Grand Prix, won once again by Charles Leclerc. Absolutely dominant winner for him today, winning the race by nearly 10 seconds over Lando Norris, and Oscar Piastri rounds out the podium. The top three all doing the one stopper. That was definitely the way to go today. Piers is P4 and Sonny Hayes, who started on pole, finishes P5. We come home for P8. Slightly frustrating race. It's very much one of them of what could have been if we didn't get caught up battling the McLarens and Max Verstappen as well, but it's still another solid 4 points. Down at the back there was that one retirement, that being Liam Lawson, when his engine blew right in front of us, gifting us that place. So it was Jack Doohan in the Alpine who was last on the road today. So this is what it means in terms of the Drivers' World Championship. We will get a title decider next time out in Brazil between Piers and Lando Norris. 18 points the gap. It's going to be close, but don't forget as well, it is a sprint weekend. Sonny Hayes also has an outside chance as well, being 32 points back with it being a sprint weekend. So which way will it swing? It will be a first world title for either of them. We are still P4 in the championship, and the battle for P4 is very much heating up as well. Very close between a lot of drivers. And then down at the back, there's still many drivers still yet to score. They've got 2 more chances this season to get a point in the Brazil sprint and the race itself, but it is Dyalla who is bottom of the championship. Bortoleto now rising to P21. And then in terms of the constructors then, Apex have wrapped that up now. A 64-point lead they have over McLaren. Ferrari are P3, we are P4, just 10 points off Ferrari. They've jumped us this weekend. And then it is Aston Martin who are P5, and it's still just Alpine who are still yet to score this season. So that's been your Italian Grand Prix race weekend. Not the most interesting of races for us, but it has very much spiced up the final round of the 2026 season. 3 drivers still in a chance with the title, 2 theoretically between Piers and Lando Norris, just 18 points between them two, with Hayes 32 points back. But who will end the 2026 season as world champion for the first time? You'll have to come back and find out when we go racing in Brazil. I'll see you then for the title decider. Goodbye.